In this video, we're going to look at the concept of balancing chemical equations for your chemistry exam. After going through this video, I guarantee you guys that you'll be able to balance chemical equations for the chemistry. Right, so ensure you stay to the very end of this video because this is a very, very important aspect of chemistry. Balancing of equations, one of the foundations of chemistry. Okay, so having known this, let's go into the details of the video. All right, now let's begin with this typical example. All right, now let's say we are given magnesium reacts with oxygen molecule and reacts to give 2 moles of magnesium oxide. Okay, now I have to balance this chemical equation. So how do you go about this? Now know that in balancing a chemical equation, we make use of what we call atom counts. All right, so in our previous video on compounds, I showed you guys how you can count atoms in elements or in a compound. Now, to make use of atom counts here to balance this chemical equation. Now, in the chemical equation, we usually have the left hand side and the right hand side. So this is the left hand side and this is the right hand side. All right, so the number of atoms at the left hand side have to be equal to the number of atoms at the right hand side. Okay, so let's balance this equation. Now here we have 1 atom of magnesium and here we have 2 atoms of magnesium. Now note that whenever you see a number beside a compound or an element, now that number will be for the atoms of every element in that compound, or will be for that element alone if there is just one element, no 2 elements. Okay, so here now this 2 number we have here is for the atoms of both magnesium and oxygen. Okay, so here now we have 2 atoms of magnesium and on the left we have 1 atom of magnesium. So this shows us that to balance this equation at the left, we need to add 2 atoms of magnesium as well. So right now we have 2 atoms of magnesium and we also have 2 atoms of magnesium. So magnesium is balanced. Let's take oxygen. We have 2 atoms of oxygen and we also have 2 atoms of oxygen because these 2 is also covering this oxygen here. So the equation is now balanced. Okay, so it's as easy as that. Now note that don't go and do something like this. For instance, let me repeat this question again. Okay. Now, if you have to balance this equation, now that you know that you have to add 2 atoms for this magnesium to balance the equation, don't go, instead of putting the 2 here, okay, don't go and put it here. All right, this is chemically wrong. All right, this is very, very wrong. And whenever you want to add an atom to an element or a compound, always add it beside, okay, and not below or at the base of the elements or compound. Okay, so take notes of this. This is wrong. This is the right way to do it. Okay, so now having known this foundation, let's look at another typical example and balance the chemical equation. Balancing the chemical equation, very interesting. Now let's wipe this. Okay, now what if you are giving this chemical equation to balance? We have sulfuric acid plus sodium hydroxide. All right, sulfuric acid reacts with sodium hydroxide to give sodium sulfate plus water. I asked to balance this chemical equation. Now let's do it together. Remember, we're going to make use of atom counts. Okay, so let's begin with hydrogen. Now we have 2 atoms of hydrogen here. We have 1 atom of hydrogen here, making it 3 atoms of hydrogen at the left, and we have 2 atoms of hydrogen. So we need to balance hydrogen at the right. So to do this, let's add 3 here, or even if we add 2 here, now if you add 2 here, these 2 now multiply these 2 at the base of this hydrogen to now be 4 atoms of hydrogen at the right. This place will still remain 3. Okay, you will see that it's not balanced. All right, now to balance that of hydrogen now at the left, you need to add 2 atoms here at the left. Okay, so when you do this, hydrogen will not be balanced. Okay, so you now have these 2 plus these 2 here, we now make it 4. Okay, hydrogen is now balanced. We have 4 atoms of hydrogen at the left, we have 4 atoms of hydrogen at the right. So hydrogen is now what? Balanced. Now, to balance that of sulfur, let's go to sulfur. We have 1 atom of sulfur here. We have 1 atom of sulfur. Sulfur is balanced for oxygen. We have 4 here. This 4 plus, remember these 2 we also have this oxygen here. So 4 plus 2 give us 6. We have total of 6 atoms of oxygen at the left. Now at the right, for oxygen, we have 6 as well. Alright, this 4 here plus, remember these 2 here, these 2 here, we also have this oxygen here. Okay, so 4 plus 2 give us 6. Oxygen is not balanced. Alright, which other thing do we need to balance? So all the elements. Okay, for sodium, let's balance sodium. We have 2 atoms of sodium here. We also have 2 here. So sodium is balanced. So the equation is not balanced. Let me rewrite it. So the balance equation is now H2SO4 plus 2NaOH. Okay, we have to give sodium sulfate, right, sulfuric acid plus 2H2O. Okay, so this will be the balance equation. We have 4 atoms of hydrogen. We have 4 atoms of hydrogen, 1 atom of sulfur, 1 atom of sulfur. We have 6 atoms of oxygen. We also have what? 6 atoms of oxygen. We have 2 atoms of sodium, and we also have 2 atoms of sodium. Okay, so this chemical equation is now balanced. Alright, so this is basically how you can balance your chemical equations. Alright, so before we call this a class, let me give you guys a practice chemistry question on this. So let's write this. Okay, so for your chemistry practice question, what if we are given this reaction or this equation, iron plus chlorine molecule. Iron reacts with chlorine molecule to give iron trichloride. Now feel free to pause this video and see if you can figure this out. Try to balance the equation. Okay, let's do it together. Now to balance this chemical equation, we have iron, 1 atom of iron here and 1 atom of iron. Yes, iron is balanced. This balance the chlorine. Now we have 2 atoms of chlorine here. We have 3 atoms of chlorine. So to balance the chlorine at the left side of the equation, let's add something like, let's add 2 here. Okay, when you add 2 here, we now have 4. By 4 atoms of chlorine at the left side, we have 2 atoms of chlorine. It's not balanced. Now what if we add 2 here? Alright, we now have 6 atoms of chlorine, because these 2 will multiply these 3 at the base. Okay, now we now have 6 atoms of chlorine. Alright, and we now have 4 here at the left. It's still not balanced. Now to balance the chlorine, we need to change these 2 to 3. Okay, so we now have 6 atoms of chlorine at the left, because this 3 we now multiply these 2 atoms of chlorine here at the base. It will now be 6 atoms of chlorine, and here these 2 multiplying these 3, we still have 6. So chlorine is not balanced. And if we check, iron is no longer balanced. We have 2 atoms of iron at the right now. So to balance iron at the left, you need to add 2 here. Okay, so the equation is not balanced. So let's rewrite it. It's going to be 2 atoms of iron reacts with 6 atoms of chlorine to give 2 atoms of iron and 6 atoms of chlorine at the right. So this is iron trichloride. Okay, so this is basically how you can do this. Hope you learned something interesting from this video. Now let's close the class here. If you are new to the channel, ensure you check the description of this video below for link to our Telegram channel. Click on it and join the Telegram channel for instant notification. Also ensure you are subscribed to this channel by hitting the subscribe button for more videos like this. Like, share, comment on this video. Tell me how you feel from what I learned from this class. If you seem to have any specific questions asked regarding this topic, feel free to leave your question in the comment section below and I'll sure to give you a response. Now click on the end screen above and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.